You led him astray from his faith. What you incited him to do wasn't even the worst evil you introduced him to.
Do you know Jugde?
I don't know him.
Do you know Sharif Ulay?
Yes, I know him.
And what about the Alshabaab members?
I don't know them.
Do you know Bimal?
I don't know him.
The people who he himself trained, who were sent to Alshabaab, who were given salaries, who carried out his work, the crimes they committed will result in a death sentence.
The 4 men who are present here today will be brought to justice. The 6 men, including Bimal, the 2 Sharifs, Jugde and Ulay, who are still at large, will be tried in absentia. The car bomb attack that took place at Mogadishu Mall, the Baadwayne attack, and the attack on the Welia Hotel, which killed a civilian who was the head of his household, will be remembered. A military court official used his military ID to deliver the car bomb that was used in the attack. Because of the 2 incidents, the plan was changed and the attack was not carried out. Muhsin Abdullahi Mahamoud, also known as Dhere, was previously a member of the Islamic courts. He was part of the Furqan brigade of the courts. During the collapse of the Islamic courts, specifically in December of 2006, he took part in the Battle of Bandiradli, which took place in the Galkayo district of the Mudug region. A month later, on the 25th of May 2008, he was arrested in Mogadishu, specifically near the Sheikh Ali Sufi Mosque and the Al Baraka intersection in the Hodan district. In 2018, he was released from prison after it was determined that he was not a threat to the country. He was then taken to Nairobi, Kenya from 2009 until 2018.
We were together, so the people I was with you were led astray from your religion. And what you were incited to do, it wasn't even the worst of the evils you were introduced to.
He then officially joined the group that was carrying out the will of the Somali people. He was registered in the Busaro area, which is located in the districts of Elwak. He returned to Barawe in 2013. In 2014, he was sent to the shores of the Indian Ocean, where the government was fighting. He was then taken to the Jilib district in the Lower Juba region. In 2015, the town of Harad Hair was designated as part of the coastal region. He worked there for a while, and it was there that he was given the name Madak Sak, or Cowhead. He was also given a new task. The leader, Deer, from 2017 to 2013, traveled to the areas of Kuno Baro, Jilib and Buale. He was working on planning, regional administration and public awareness for the military. The leader, Hussein Fidao, was later appointed as the head of the Jifo Huzi, which was located in the Dhere area, held a notable position within the community. The Dhere area was known for its distinct character. It was there that he was given the name Dhere, a name that reflected his association with the area and the respect he earned from those around him. Since they were related, Sharif Jig was accompanied by Mohammed Abdullah Nur Abko Bimalo, who had also joined the Khawarij after being dissatisfied with the results of the military registration. Sharif Agawain, a member of the conspiracy section, was also the leader who handed over Jigay and Bimalo to Dakare, who later carried out the bombings in Mogadishu in 2019, Bakadwain, near the Welia Hotel in 2019, and the attack on Aden Ade Airport in 2022, on June 25, 2022. Today, a death sentence by firing squad was carried out after the Armed Forces Court sentenced several defendants found guilty of various crimes.
That's how it was. A verbal altercation happened today. We turned to a man from Dakar. We turned to a man named Zasan Sichid Bian. We conspired. We took turns. He connected us with a man who could help us. The man who based us. In any case, the man who was with him, he was the one who left. The man was injured.
I was with Biimal and also with Makalin Kabdule Kub. In the very beginning, we were not really familiar with each other. There was a person, someone who was not one of us, who was associated with the group known as Alshabaab. We were all a bit cautious at first since we had never met before and did not have any previous relationship or connection. After he was questioned by the authorities, I eventually got involved in the situation. The system at that point was all mixed up and completely disorganized. The man we greeted earlier, everything was mixed up. That's how it ended. We left that matter so the work could be recognized. The leader, Dakare, and others who joined the Khawarij was also the head of the October unit in the Hodan district. Sharif Nur Ali Olio was involved in the killing of Mohammed Ali Kahia and was part of the infiltrating militants hiding in the Mudug region.
Did you join Al-Shabaab? No, I did not. Do you know Jugde? I don't know him. Do you know him? I don't know him. Do you know Sharif Uli? Yes, I know him. What was your relationship with him? I don't know him. Do you know Bimal? I don't know him. Do you know your son, Korf? I don't know him. Regarding the tribe, if he were arrested, we would have discussed it, but I personally don't know him. Did you work with Al-Shabaab? I did not.
Abdikani Ahmeddini Awale, known as Wadani, disobeyed military orders. He was an officer in the armed forces. He joined the Khawarij at the 10th school of the Naknak camp after his mother, Jugde Shuute, was arrested. The leader, Dakare, was used to escort car bombs into the capital, even while they were loaded. She would provide specific information to the country's intelligence, NISA. The deputy head of the Armed Forces Intelligence, Lieutenant Colonel Mumin Hussein Abdullahi, confirmed the prosecutor's request to sentence the first defendant to death by firing squad, while the second defendant was sentenced to life imprisonment.
The defendant, Muhyiddin, was the cause and was responsible for major massacres that occurred in this city of Mogadishu.
He himself, using people he was related to, who he thought he could pass through, brought them into the city of Galkayo, and from that major problems arose, like the explosions carried out by Jigo and Bimalo. The people he trained and recruited into Alshabaab, assigning them salaries for their jobs, the crimes from that led to the death penalty. It is justice that if the children he put to work committed crimes warranting the death penalty, and it is clear he was aware of it, then it is not justice for him to go free. Honorable Chairman, judges, honorable court, with all due respect, we are clarifying to the court that the place where Sharif, Jigo, and B. Malo were to carry out their plan for the armed forces until it was carried out was Muhyiddin's responsibility, who the court sentenced to death. The second defendant, Abdi Hakim, the defendant, is a man whose maternal uncle was called. He threatened him and said, "Do this job, and if you don't, you will be killed." The right thing to do would have been to go to the nearest police station and report it, saying, I am in danger. If he gets out, I have been informed of something dangerous being brought into the city. He brought Muhyiddin's evil intentions into the city, one of the weapons he brought into the city. Honorable Chairman, judges, honorable court, for him, we are clarifying that the articles we have charged him with, which specify a punishment without mercy, should be the sentence the court imposes. Thank you, court.
The defense lawyers for the defendants also argued that the leader, Dakare, should be given his freedom since he has confessed and can be utilized. And for the second defendant, they proposed that he be released since he was coerced and had no opportunity.
Muhyiddin Abdisalan was charged with many accusations, very many articles he was charged with. The articles he was charged with are just written words. When it comes to it, there is no evidence against Muhyiddin Abdisalan that was shared with the court on form number 1. What needs justice, what needs a hearing, is Abdisalan saying, "I did not commit the crime." He stood here before the court for hours saying, "I did not do it." The investigative bodies are saying he is Al-Shabaab. But there is no evidence that those bodies have. That itself needs a hearing. Because the person who is being accused of committing that crime is saying, "I did not commit the crime and I am not in Al-Shabaab." The matter of the courts, he has no doubt about it. He has no argument that he is in court. The law, the Somali Penal Code, says in Article 138, 110, it says that a person's criminal act must be proven without a doubt. Regarding the men who died, from whom no evidence could be obtained, first it is said that a confession is a limited proof. A confession is a limited proof that is confined to the person who makes it. If the men who died had said anything, even if they had confessed to their crimes, even if they had said something, Muhyiddin would not be deprived of his freedom today. The reason is that a confession is a limited proof. It is confined to the individual. It cannot be transferred to another. So if those men were guilty, they have taken their guilt with them. The Holy Quran says that was a community that has passed on. For it is what it earned, and for you is what you have earned. This means that if those men were guilty, they have taken their guilt with them to the grave. The agencies did not produce any relationship between this man and those men. They failed to do so. What was required was for an investigation to be conducted and for the relationship between the two parties to be produced. And that investigation did not happen. Number 2, the second point is a person who is a victim today, Muhyiddin Dakare, or a victim, Abdi Hakim, who the court previously used, the nation, the group they are accused of belonging to, neither of them is a part of it. Especially Muhyiddin. Now what is strange, Mr. Chairman, is that it was said he formed a group For this formation, it was required to produce a video, a book he wrote to gather people, tapes he recorded, or even a picture of him giving a lecture to the people he was gathering. Not a single word is available. The people who preach, their records are available. Their awareness campaigns are available. But for this man, not a single word is available, not a single picture is available. So the evidence you have, what you are holding, is not something, he is an innocent man, as he himself stated. He said he is a poor man who is just trying to make a living like everyone else. The courts that came after, I am not in that place. Many people are in that place. I asked the chairman, Hussein Moran, this man, as the intelligence office itself stated, this man is sick. I will not accept the accusation. The place where he is imprisoned is not a place, it is not a den. Now, the intelligence office itself stated that this man is sick. We were also told that this matter cannot be imprisoned. As for the other things that could be beneficial, that the security agencies could benefit from, Mr. Chairman, he needs punishment, justice. He needs justice. In the end, what we are requesting is justice. The court has wasted a lot of time on this, and it needs justice. The investigation and everything that was supposed to be investigated, what was left out is justice. We ask the honorable court, in conclusion, this man, since he is innocent, and he is not a member of the nation, he has suffered a great injustice, as is now apparent from what was presented to the court. There is no national or private entity involved. First, that his freedom be restored. The court should be fully aware of this matter. Furthermore, the court should also carefully take into account how it can benefit, and in addition, how the investigation agencies can benefit from it as well. The court is sincerely thanked for its attention in this regard.
When I look at the articles, I have the same opinion. The first lawyer who pointed out that Article 6, paragraphs 1 and 2, Article 8, Article 10, Article 51, Article 8, and Article 21 of the anti-terrorism law do not affect all of those articles. And the verse he cited, take the witness, who was the honorable lawyer who followed him when I went through those articles. I do not want to waste time. Mr. Chairman, here is the anti-terrorism law, which is important because it has a provision called 37. Article 37 gives us the power to do what we want within the boundaries of the law and our responsibilities. The work that the investigator is currently doing, as well as the specific place he wants to go, is directly related to Article 37 and the authority it provides him. So Article 37 is what he has, and therefore Article 37 grants the investigator the right to conduct the person's investigation. When it comes to a suspect, Article 37 allows for the investigation of a suspect when there is a clear and logical reason to do so. He explains this logically, making sure that the reasoning is clear and justified according to the law. And yes, it is suspected that he has either committed or has made an attempt to commit a terrorist crime. This suspicion is based on available evidence and ongoing investigation. When a person is not arrested or found or followed or brought to court for trial, that does not mean that the article says that the person must be someone who is afraid of what he did or wants to do, and at the time he wanted to do it, he must be caught. It is not stated what action the two men sitting there have taken or intended to take. What was built on the investigation? The investigation was built on what he told me. Now, he said that the court authorities said that both of them were not Alshabaab. That was taken as what happened when it happened before. Before this, there was an explosion, a bomb explosion, a bomb explosion, a bomb explosion. While you are now connecting 2 years ago, and it has been 2002. It was 29 to 10 to 2000, and it was 22 until now. How did you come to accuse me of coming to investigate and participating in the explosion while you said that this person lives in Zamar and is staying with me in Zamar? By following who he's talking to and where he's going. If he's acting suspiciously, then he should have been arrested, but no one did anything. The first suspect, Muhuddin, was arrested at his home where his ailing father was staying. There was no explosion during the 3 days he was with them. He didn't return. There was nothing he was suspected of, nothing that came before. During several peaceful periods, he was left alone. The time he was arrested was during the election. of President Hassan Sheikh when security was tighter than the previous year. What is that about? And now his freedom has been taken away. His house was entered at night. It is an injustice. Today he stands before the court. This court has its own assessment. The man called Abdurrahim. Abdurrahim was summoned from the command of the National Army. As the investigator stated, he went there and his freedom was taken away. If there was any suspicion that he was involved in a crime, he would not have gone. He would have gone into hiding. The two men, it was stated here that need drove them. Often it is said, how much did you take? How much were you given? $20? What were you given? $30? The need that supposedly drove these two men, neither of them is destitute. That was not stated. So sound logic does not lead one to say today that they belong to Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab has not claimed them. And they themselves are not claiming it. No evidence that can prove they are Al-Shabaab has been presented to the court. Therefore, we want to move on to the penal code. The Penal Code, Mr. Chairman, it points to Article 20 of the Penal Code, which states that the cause, the incident and the result must be established. Only then can the Penal Code be invoked. There is no cause, no result, and nothing that happened at all. So when I return to the point, without going off topic, the accusation is that they belong to Al-Shabaab. That the person's affiliation with Al-Shabaab is what led to the surveillance. That he was being followed to see what he wanted to do. That he was being tracked to see what he was planning. And then a preemptive action would be taken. That the coordinated agencies would take preemptive action and apprehend him. Nothing happened. Not before their arrest. Not during the arrest itself, and not after their arrest that could justify a raid on them or lead to the arrest of others. Therefore, we say to the court that it should not accept the charge. Its description and the articles, as they are not consistent. When I move on to the two of them, I met with Abdi Hakim. Abdi Hakim told me that a picture of Muhyiddin was presented, and it was said, "Do you know this man?" He told us, and he also told the court that he didn't know the names that were mentioned. Do you know that man? No. Since they said that, Article 104 of the Penal Procedure Code, letter C, states that the court cannot convict him and recognize it as a conviction. Therefore, we request the court to restore his freedom if he is not being held for harming the army, harming the nation, or causing instability. And there is no one else to be arrested who is also guilty. Therefore, we say to the court regarding the harm done to him, this will eventually be taken to a civil court. But as for the mistake and the loss inflicted, we thank the court for its handling of the matter. And I was the lawyer for Abdi Hakim Ahmed Dini Awale. In accordance with Article 15 of the Somali Penal Procedure Code, I am defending him before the court for the first time, in accordance with Article 116, Abdi Hakim. Honorable Chairman and Judges, this honorable court, my client has been accused under many articles, among which are the second and third paragraphs of Article 6 of the Anti-Terrorism Law. He was accused under Article 8, Article 10, the first paragraph of Article 15, Article 17, Article 18, and Article 21 of the Anti-Terrorism Law, and Article 64 of the Penal Code, which does not permit a person to be punished. First, Honorable Chairman and Judges, I will address each of the articles he has been accused of one by one. While he was working in the office when he coming out for his service, but I will focus on the articles he was accused of and how they are flawed. But today, before the court, it was stated that he was there, caused no trouble, I brought him here, and then the investigator stated in his own words, he said, I was called, he parked the car near the theater, I refused. He was called a second time, I refused. The investigator said this in his own words, a lawyer is under God's watch when he stands here. So if Abdi Hakim refused to be brought to court today and it is said, let's get a warrant, we have it, we will read it, and we have a final decision on you. That is a legal violation because Article 1 of the Penal Code states that no one can be punished for an act that the law does not recognize as a crime. As I conclude my defense with that, I will move to the conclusion. Since no witness has been brought forward to prove that Abdi Hakim is Al-Shabaab, since there is no confession written by the court in which he states, "I am Al-Shabaab," his statement said, "Where is the job assignment?" Since it was not brought, not a single point has been brought forward that could implicate Abdi Hakim as being Al-Shabaab. We request this honorable court to grant Abdi Hakim his freedom in accordance with Article 122, and also that it be confirmed here today that the decision is for him to be released to his family so he can comply with the court's order to be released. Thank you, court.
Should the court grant it?
We are asking the court to grant him his freedom. I'm not the only one saying this.
Are we requesting the court?
We are requesting the court to restore his freedom.
The chairman of the First Degree Military Court, Senior Colonel Hassan Ali Nur Shuute, has issued the final verdict of the session. Abdi Fatah Kaire, National Media, Mogadishu.